Writing's been a part of my personal and professional life like everybody else.
Whether it be communicating with friends or family,
Or discussing with my colleagues in my professional career, the ability to read and write and understand what these characters means is something that was built a long time ago. It all starts at the beginning with the alphabet and other fun worksheets.
As well as life-changing bedtime stories.
My school focused on free reading. Give them the ability to read, and then let them read whatever they want. Which is a great way to get them to learn. My elementary school had a public library on campus with the most amazing librarian who still works there today. I have the best memories of when she would read to the whole class or personally help us pick out books.
She was deeply invested in our learning and was able to have conversations with us kids about these low-level reading books and her personal thoughts on the stories, which were so sparking as a kid to be able to talk about the silly storybooks you read with an adult and for them to have real feedback. This really planted a love for reading in me, and I can imagine many others.
From my librarian, teachers, and mom, there was another learning source, non-human, the computer lab.
every now and then they would ship all the children to
The computer lab!
and have us play these repetitive typing games. Being that old, I remember barely being able to sit still and getting in trouble for messing around often. At some point, I got over the not being able to sit still deal and found the computer lab entertaining. Sometimes I would get out to recess sprinting to the lab, being the first one there, and playing the typing games, which is what our browsers were exclusively restricted to anyways. Throughout school, you were obviously bombarded with never-ending writing assignments. Even in the woodshop class, I had a fair number of papers to write. Whether these assignments be infographics, poster boards, or PowerPoint slideshows in which I still have saved.
The most memorable was a fictional story about Potato Land in which some of my friends at the time collaborated on writing. If I remember correctly, it was my 5th grade final. We each turned in our own version of Potato Land, which ended up being set in size 30 font and was only about 300 words. Mine was the shortest of the three, and I wish I had the other versions to look back on because it was a weird story and it probably gave a good look into what it looked like to be a 5th grader. The story was about a fairy tale teleporting mechanic that landed us in the clouds with a unicorn barfing rainbows, and that's about where it ended. Technology played a part of that 5th grade final, and currently in this assignment. It always has been a part of my education, especially in the 20th century. And I don't know where I'd be without it. Speaking of technology, I always try to use a thesaurus. It's an excellent tool to utilize so that you can get your exact point across with the most effective phrases. Writing's especially enjoyable when you get to write about a topic you're knowledgeable and passionate about. It's just so satisfying when you get to articulate the information you know by heart onto text. On the other hand, if you have no attachment to the topic, it can be hard to imagine even what the first sentence will be. For example, in my previous English class, I had to write a 9-page essay on the topic of water bottle flips, and it sounded like a nonsensical conspiracy theory, and I didn't even get anywhere close to the word count. I'm sure it was somehow possible to complete that assignment, but I didn't have the knowledge or the willpower to finish it at the time. Nowadays, I put my literacy to use reading technical documents, pitches, emails to peers, communication with my team, and I genuinely love it. As I'm aiming to be an engineer, there will definitely be more of this in the future. I'm grateful that my literacy has taken me this far, and I'm grateful for the people in the public education system and my family for getting me here. How do I conclude?